Hello, my name is Cherise, and thank you for tuning in to another video on my channel, Sharing My World. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing information about something that I really enjoy, and that is travel. I travel a lot. I travel about 5 or 6 times a year, and the majority of the time that I'm traveling, I'm flying for free. Because I figured out a strategy for using my credit card purchases so that when it's time for me to purchase an airline ticket, I have enough rewards miles so that I can get a free ticket. So if you'd like to learn my strategy and learn how you can travel for free also, then stay tuned and I'm going to show you how to do it in just a few seconds. Okay, so you might want to get a pen and paper because there are 5 steps to this plan, and I'll go through each one step by step. So, the first thing that you want to do is to get a credit card that is associated with the airline that you travel on the most. So, all major airlines have relationships with credit card companies that offer travel rewards miles. I travel on American Airlines almost exclusively. I'm lucky because they travel nonstop to just about all the places that I travel to on a regular basis. And American Airlines has a relationship with Citibank. And Citibank offers their Citibank Advantage credit cards, which are travel rewards cards. So because I fly on American, I have an American Airlines Citi Advantage card offered through Citibank, and my husband has an American Airlines Advantage Executive card also offered through Citibank. But I also wanted to mention that there are other credit cards out there that you can use for this plan that are not attached to a particular airline. Just a couple of examples are the Chase Sapphire card and the Capital One Venture card. Both of those cards are travel rewards cards, and you can use those points on different airlines. You're not subject to using them on just one airline like I am with the Citibank Advantage card. I have to use those miles on American Airlines. With those two credit cards, you can use those miles on different airlines. Those credit cards don't really work for me though because I don't travel on any of the airlines that they offer. For instance, they offer like United and JetBlue, Emirates, Frontier, and I don't really fly on any of those airlines, so those credit cards don't really work for me. But if you fly on some of those airlines, then you might want to look into those types of credit cards because they could be a really good option. So let me explain how this works, and it's actually really simple. The premise is you earn points by making purchases on your credit cards, and those points go towards earning free travel. And with most of these credit card companies, they will give you a bonus amount of points just for applying and being approved for the card. So when I got my American Airlines Advantage credit card through Citibank, I got 50,000 bonus points just for applying and just for being approved. And just to give you an example, that's pretty much enough bonus points to earn free travel for an international flight or free travel for 2 domestic flights. That's a lot of points just for applying. So once you apply and you're approved, you're pretty much flying for free right off the bat. So there are perks for using your credit cards to make purchases to assist you in earning maximum points. So with the credit card that I have through Citibank, I get double points every time I use my card at a gas station or at a restaurant. So if I'm at a restaurant with my husband and our bill is, let's say, $150, then that's 300 points that I have earned towards my travel rewards miles. If I'm at a gas station and I fill up my tank and it's $45, that's 90 points that goes towards free travel. And then for all other purchases, you get a single point for every dollar that you spend. So if you're at the grocery store and your bill is $100, then that's $100 in points that you get towards your free travel. Okay, so here is the key in my strategy. You have to use your credit card for every single purchase that you make. That's how you maximize on your points. So no longer use your department store credit cards or your debit card, or no longer go to the ATM to get cash for purchases, or use PayPal or other ways to pay bills. Use the credit card for every single purchase that you make. And you can see how this will add up to a lot of points going towards free travel. If you are married or if you have a significant other, then have that person also apply for a travel rewards card through the same bank that you have your travel rewards card. And make sure it's a different type of card. Most of the credit card companies have different types of credit cards that have different perks. So with my card, like I mentioned earlier, I get double the points on gas station and restaurant purchases and a single point for all other purchases. My husband has the executive card through Citibank. He gets a single point for every purchase that he makes, but there are some other perks that really enhance our travel experience, and I'll talk about those a little later. So we are co-signers on each other's card. So we strategically use our cards. When we are making purchases at restaurants and gas stations, we use my card because we get the double points. When we're making all other purchases, we use his credit card. And by using our cards that way, when it's time for us to redeem our rewards points for travel, we generally both have enough points so that we can both get free tickets. So I want to go back to some of those perks that I told you about that my husband gets with his executive card that enhance our travel experience. And I also want to mention that with these perks, they are for him and anybody that he's traveling with, which makes it even better because I get benefit of those perks as well. So he gets a VIP check-in at the airport. He gets a checked bag for free. He gets early boarding on all flights, and he also gets a percentage off of any in-flight purchase that he makes. But the biggest perk that he gets with this card, and the one that we are the most excited about, is membership into the Admirals Club. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Admirals Club, it is a private lounge for American Airlines travelers. And it has complimentary food, snacks, drinks, alcoholic beverages. Some of them have shower suites, and they all have a business center. We love the Admirals Club. Whenever we're traveling, we get to the airport early just so that we can go to the Admirals Club before our flights, particularly in the morning because we go and get our Bloody Marys or mimosas, and it makes our flight so much nicer. I kind of lost track on my numbers, but I think we're up to tip number 4 in this plan. And this is the most important tip out of everything. When the bill comes, when you get your credit card bill, you have to pay off the entire bill in full. You have to pay everything that is due for that cycle. You cannot incur any type of finance charges, or this strategy is not going to work for you. So whatever your monthly budget is, stick to that budget. Don't go above and beyond your budget just because you're putting everything on your credit card, because you're going to have to pay the piper at the end of the billing cycle. So if you are doing this and then you are spending above your means or your limits and you are starting to incur credit card debt, then you just need to stop. If you can't do this without incurring credit card debt and finance charges, it makes more sense for you to just purchase an airline ticket than to rack up credit card debt and have to pay finance charges. So please keep that in mind. You have to pay the bill at the end of every billing cycle in order for this to work. So there are some annual fees with these cards that I thought it was really important for me to mention. I have the Advantage card, and the fee on that card is $99 a year. And to me, that's just pretty insignificant considering the fact that I'm taking about 5 trips a year and I'm flying for free. So I don't think that that's a big deal. Now, on my husband's card, the executive card, the fee for that card is $450. And that's a little more, and some people might think that's a lot. But we travel a lot and we use the Admirals Club a lot. And with all of the complimentary food and drinks and beverages that we're getting in the Admirals Club, I know if we would have been making those purchases in the airport, that we would have spent a lot more than $450 a year. So it doesn't make sense for everybody. If you don't travel a lot and it's not two people traveling, it might not make sense for you. But if it's two of you and you're using the Admirals Club as much as we use it, then it makes an awful lot of sense. So here we are at the final tip, tip number 5, and this is really exciting because that means you have made all of your credit card purchases and maximized on those purchases, and now you have enough points and you want to redeem them for a free ticket for travel. So it is really important when you are ready to redeem your points that you get the absolute best deal. And these points, they vary from month to month, week to week, and sometimes from day to day. So I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say I wanted to fly from Philadelphia to Los Angeles, and I wanted to fly in April. So in January, let's say I start looking at the points that are required for that particular trip. When I look in January, it could be 45,000 points for that trip. If I check back in February, it could be 25,000. And let's say I check back in March, it could be up at 35,000. I don't know how these airlines, what their strategy is for the points that are required, but it's just all over the place. So you have to be persistent. Start looking early and continue to look. And then when you think you have the absolute best deal based on what you've been seeing previously, then that's the time to book. I can give you an example. About 3 weeks ago, I was traveling from Philadelphia to Atlanta. When I first checked, it was 25,000 miles for a round trip. And that was about maybe 2 weeks before it was time for me to travel. 3 days before it was time for me to travel, the points were 12,500. If I would have booked initially, I would have spent double the amount of points that I needed for that particular trip. So again, it's super, super important for you to check on a regular basis and make sure that when you are ready to book, you are getting the best possible deal. Keeping in mind that sometimes the best deal could be just a few days before it's time for you to travel. So if you really want the best deal, sometimes it might take a little bit of nerve and some flexibility before you purchase that ticket. So that's it. That's my 5-point strategy to earn enough rewards miles so that you can travel for free. And I will recap them right now. Number 1, apply for the credit card that is associated with the airline that you travel on the most. Number 2, make sure that your spouse also applies for a credit card, just a different credit card than you, but with the same company. You both become authorized users on each card, and you both use those cards strategically. Number 3, make sure that you use the credit card for every purchase that you make. Number 4, at the end of the billing cycle, pay the card off in full. And number 5, when you are redeeming your miles, make sure that you shop to get the absolute best deal that you possibly can. So I hope you found this information helpful. I hope that you will use this plan and begin to travel and experience the world the way I have. And if you did find this information helpful, I hope that you will share it with other people. I hope that you will also give this video a like and a thumbs up. And I hope, more importantly, that you will subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.